this person felt like they were on shaky ground and they had to wait until they felt stable enough that they could go. They also felt like they didn't have self-control around something. Okay, we've got the World card and the Two of Swords. So I will say they didn't feel entirely equipped to make a decision. So they left it to the hands of fate. And the wheel turned. And as it turned, a cycle ended in their lives. And they weren't very proactive about it. It was just kind of like something that happened to them. They remained silent during this process mainly because they didn't know what they would say, because they didn't really understand exactly what was unfolding. Like, they were participating in it more as like an observer or a bystander, as if they were like not fully in their body. I have the Ace of Swords here and the Daughter of Swords, or the Page of Swords. So what they really wanted really was just to watch. They wanted to watch. They wanted to wait. That was all they wanted. But they knew that if you knew that you would not stick around, because that's not what you desired at all. And so at some point in time, they recognized that this dynamic between the two of you was preventing you from spreading your wings. And you had you got into a situation where now you were going to get hurt if you changed or transformed in some way. And so you might have realized this, recognized this, and set up some healthy boundaries to prevent yourself from getting hurt by this person. This crushed this person. It was also a very enlightening moment, like lightning struck tower vibes. They're like really, really recognizing the loss here. There's a huge amount of grief around this experience. They did not mean for you to get hurt, but they recognize that not making a decision hurt you even more than if they had just ended that third party. Whatever this was that was blocking them from you, it just felt like a huge, insurmountable object. It felt like something that would never, ever go away. It was permanent. And so they watched and they waited. And I think you played along. I think you played along for a long time. You collaborated with this. You were like maybe just as scared to be in real connection yourself without realizing it. And so you felt safe. And you felt safe in that palace that you both built together. But the Ten of Pentacles is here showing me that there is a way for you to have this life that you both desire, the one that would have legacy, fortune, the one that would be abundant. This is still possible for you, and I think that you both know this because you both invested so much time, energy, and effort. And the Seven of Pentacles here is telling me that you likely were very, very patient, learned how to take care of yourselves during this time. And, that pays off. So now this strong connection has a very intense forward motion. If you both surrender to it, you're heading into a new cycle together. And I think it's one that will be very enlightening, but it's one that's going to finally give you some clarity about your future. So it won't be so foggy and unclear anymore. Why you suffered the way that you had to suffer. Why you were attached the way that you've been attached. So we have here most likely something stemming from a long time ago, abandonment wounds. But we've got the Death card, which is a suggestion of something also being reborn. We've got the Star, hoping. We've got the Hanged Man, energy being drained by this pause, waiting, fearing this rejection. And here it is, the masculine energy kind of trapped in that inability to confront without causing conflict, and so keeping those deep feelings hidden within side. But also, I think during this whole process of losing you because of the fear of rejection and recognizing that, you know, it was going to drain this energy from them to just sit here and do nothing. And so I think that what we have that's new is this person is finally stepping into a certain level of emotional maturity and availability that they have never displayed before. And it comes from being in the circumstances that they've been in with you, because you showed them the roots of a lot of the discord and the places where disharmony had drained the color and light out of life and made it very dull. There was a tracing of these patterns into childhood through probably triggers that you both experienced in the connection with one another. And this allowed this person to finally feel like they are able to embody this version of themselves that they always actually were trying to just project without really feeling. And now there's a sense that this energy is emanating from within them. And so their outward appearance is shifting into a much more positive, I think, like put together, probably wealthy appearance. And it's because this light is coming from within. There is a desire to go back in time a little bit, because we know that this person has achieved this level of the Father of Cups energy, but there is sometimes this desire to regress into this like romantic, heady energy of youth, to be able to like fully express the way that you make them feel. But I think that now that all of this has passed, it wouldn't land well with you. And so there's an awareness there. There's a reluctance there, because they want you to know that they consider you, you know, their counterpart here with this Mother of Pentacles energy. And that it really breaks their heart that that lack of decision making that we started with here ended the cycle between the two of you. And it was something that was literally, you know, it was out of their hands. It was something that was decided. And I do think there could have been a third party that they may have had a marriage with, a family with, or something that they were still very entangled with, which kept them in this cycle where they could not make any sort of move. And it was just going around and around and around and getting very stale and very old. Something that you both do not know is that all of this time, both of you have been alone, even when you were surrounded by others. You were hunkered down, protecting yourselves. This light that's shining out here for me is the Star energy. You shared the burden of this lonely energy. You learned to enjoy your own companionship, but you were mirroring one another. There's the Four of Wands here. You stayed faithful. You blocked out other energy in the hopes that you would overcome this turbulent time and be able to be together and reciprocate and have happiness. So you guys got to deal with those abandonment wounds if you haven't yet, but very heart-centered stuff going on here. If you need help with any of this, you know where to find me, of course.